6-point underdog on the road against the Saints on Sunday. Pittsburgh can clinch the AFC North with a win and some help. But a lot of attention will obviously be on Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben is a 2-time Super Bowl winner and by all accounts is headed to the Hall of Fame. That is, unless you ask Saints defensive end Cameron Jordan. Let's take a listen.
What does this offense do well? We know they run it well. We know they got a couple of 1,000-yard receivers. They've got a quarterback who might be going to the Hall of Fame. He's only been sacked 20 times.
Is that true?
Roethlisberger? Yeah. So,
really?
What does this offense do well?
In this era? You put him at like a top 3 of this era.
I wouldn't put him at a top 3, but I think
top 5 of this era.
He's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Top 5 of this era.
Roethlisberger, top 5 of this era.
You put him at top 5 of this era.
A couple of Super Bowls. Probably gonna
Is that a yes or no?
Yes.
You put, so you have, who would be your top 5? Drew. Tom. Aaron.
Aaron, who got less Super Bowls than Roethlisberger. Let's keep going.
Numbers are impressive. So you're saying
You're saying numbers are impressive?
Whose numbers are always impressive.
Okay.
Aaron. Okay, so then you put him right there.
Roethlisberger doesn't have decent numbers.
Peyton
who?
Manning. He's not.
Well, I didn't even count him in the era.
This is the era. He retired 2 years ago.
Him in the era.
That was most of Roethlisberger's career. You're saying he's better. He's better than Phillip Rivers right now.
Right now,
career-wise.
Career-wise,
because you give him the Super Bowl nod. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he didn't have.
So you
have a more accomplished career than Phillip Rivers.
You're putting him at number 5.
Yeah, I put him at 5.
Okay. I mean, okay. I'd honestly put Eli before I put Ben, but okay.
What?
2 Super Bowls. If we're going by his numbers. Exactly.
Except Eli washed.
I hear you. All right, cool. So you're putting him at number 5.
We got to watch out. He would be great on the show. Boy, how about that kind of debate? I loved it. Shannon, will this bulletin board material help the Steelers pull off the upset?
I think the Steelers are going to be very, very motivated. I just hope Cam Jordan going to be able to walk it like he talk it. Walk it like he talk it. Because he's doing a lot of talking, Skip Bayless. Yep. Now, look, this is his opinion, Cam Jordan, but it's hard for me to believe that Ben is not a top 5 quarterback in his era. And he made some very compelling points, Skip. I mean, Peyton, Tom, and Drew. Okay, we there 3.
Okay, I agree.
Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben. Okay, you flip 4, 5, 4. But I think he has to be in there given his numbers.
Take him over Phillip Rivers
and
for his career.
But, you know, he said Ben always has impressive numbers, and numbers aren't everything. Cam, you're absolutely right. Because Drew Brees has 5 5,000-yard passing seasons, and in 3 of those, you didn't make the playoffs. So numbers aren't everything.
Good point.
You know, Skip, the thing is for the New Orleans, since that Dallas game, they have not been impressive, especially offensively. I think the defense doing a great job, and because they only gave up 13 points to the Cowboys, they gave up 14 to Tampa, and they gave up 9. So defensively, they've been playing very, very well.
Yep.
It's the offense that hasn't held up their end of the deal. But I do expect them to play better offensively. They're back in their building, and you know what they represent. Skip, this is the first time they've been home in a month.
Whew, yeah.
They've been on the road. They were on the road to Dallas. They were on the road to Tampa. They were on the road to Carolina.
Yep.
So now they get to come home and get some of that good old gumbo. Some of that old etouffee. Maybe some boudin. I know y'all don't eat that, but that's some good old stuff right there. Skip Bayless. Woo! Good old eating. Good old eating. Maybe look. What about beignet? You like that?
I used to.
Oh, you know, old JD.
When I was a little kid, I did.
Sweet tooth nasty over here, like anything sweet. But anyway, I expect both teams to score a lot, Skip, because both teams has nice offenses. I will give the slight nod to Saints defensively, because they can get out. They can really put, you know, Cam Jordan and Rankins, they can really put pressure on the quarterback. And I think their front 7, I think defensively they're better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I expect both teams, but Ben is no slouch now. And AB and Juju and McDonald and I hadn't seen a whole lot of Jesse James this year, but Vance McDonald, James Washington is nice. Eli Rogers was just activated last week. Now, I don't know where Steelers be getting these running backs from, but it seems like they pull out anybody off the scrap heap and they just go get 100 yards. So I expect it to be high flying. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored, Skip. So would I be surprised if both teams got into the high 20s, maybe the low 30s? No, I would not. But man, Cam took some really for it, Skip. So would I be surprised? Because, like I said, I don't really. Both teams got into the high 20s, maybe the low 30s. No, I would not. But man, Cam took some really. I'm surprised because, like I said, I don't really know Cam. I know it's, played in the era with his dad played, Steve Jordan, who's a great tight end for the Minnesota Vikings.
He was.
But I'm surprised that he went, especially at this juncture. I don't really know what's to be gained by taking these kind of shots at Ben Roethlisberger. But clearly, this is the way he felt, Skip. So this is not, this is not something that was rehearsed. The reporter asked him. I'm surprised that the reporter is talking like he's off, even though you can't see him. This is the kind of conversation that a reporter would have in the barbershop. He's like, Eli washed. I'm like, whoa, that's what we would say. Normally, a reporter wouldn't say that, Skip, but that's not the.
Obviously, they had some relationship.
Right, exactly. But I expect New Orleans to win this ball game.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be close.
Yep.
I'm going to say they win 33-27.
33-27. I disagree with you. I believe Pittsburgh is going to go in there and win this game. But before I tell you why, I want to talk about Cam Jordan for a second. He is a bright young man with a quick wit and some wisdom to back it up. But even though he has made 4 Pro Bowls, and last year he made first-team All-Pro, he just made another Pro Bowl team.
Right.
He has never gotten the sort of personal acclaim playing in the defensive shadow of Drew Brees with Sean Payton, the greatest play caller in the league, right? He never has gotten the attention I believe he deserves. And I believe he's been on a personal mission this year to talk his way into the acclaim that he deserves because he talks big every week. Every offensive lineman he's going up against is a speed bump. That's what he always calls them. And he and Cam have gone back and forth all year long after they swept Cam the 3 games last year. And I don't know whether he actually sent the broom to Cam. He says he didn't, but then he sort of winks and nods. I don't know. But they've been going back and forth. And he's a delight to listen to. But he's trying to... This is for his personal advancement, not for his team's advancement. And I think he's going to have to eat these words because I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers just took off. I think they were waiting all year long. They had circled that date against that team that quote-unquote owned them. Tom Brady's coming back to Pittsburgh, back to his scene of many crimes against Pittsburgh. And they just needed to right the wrong. And once they broke through and did, I think the whole weight of the world is off their backs, and they're going to come in hot on defense as well as offense. I really like the way they play defense.
You like Pittsburgh defense?
Last week I did against Brady. Again, maybe Brady's not Brady anymore. That's
maybe
what you
he's
say.
Washed.
Yeah, maybe he's washed. But I thought that defense came to play. It played high and hot all day long. It was everywhere. That they were smart. And they were physical, and they played with extreme energy because they played out of fear of getting embarrassed again by Tom Brady.
Do you expect the Saints offense to, or the Saints to commit 14 penalties? A lot of those pre-snaps, say 7 pre-snap penalties in that building?
I got to tell you, as much as I love the Saints, and we both picked them to win the NFC, there was one turning point play made by Drew Brees that seemed to change everything really in the NFC. And it came late in that game against Dallas after Dak had turned it over where they had the ball down at the 5-yard line. Remember this? And Dak gets strip sacked. And I thought, that's it. Season over for the Dallas Cowboys. And Drew Brees turned right around 2 plays and 34 seconds later. And if we could see this, he threw it to Jordan Lewis. Do you remember this play? This is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Like, I don't know where it came from. It is so un-Drew.
It is.
Right? Because they got the ball at the 15, and I thought he'll just march them, 85 yards, and they're going to win the game, right? Or at least go to overtime. I was hoping only for overtime at that point because it was 13-10. And then he turns right around and does that? Really? Threw it completely behind his target. It was a horrible interception. I don't know what he was doing.
But the pressure that he was under throughout the entirety of the game led directly to that play.
Okay, you can make that case. But to me, to my eye and to the statistical eye, they have not been the same, especially on offense, since that throw. Am I right? They weren't that whole night, obviously, when they went 3 for 11 on 3rd down. But in the last 4 games, including the Dallas game, they ranked 29th in the league in points per game. 29th? And they came in, obviously, leading by far, having 37. One of the great statistical years, and Drew was having maybe the greatest quarterback year ever. And then they've just sagged since then. I watch them every week, and I say, I can't even recognize who they are, because in those 4 games, they just struggled and struggled and struggled to score. Right. And they're just lucky, because you made the case. The defense just hung on and hung on. And yet now I look at this, and I don't think I think they lost their way. Right. I think they lost their mojo. I think they lost their confidence on offense. And they're going to play a hot Steelers team. They come in as, what, 6-point underdogs? And man, I'll take those 6.
Excuse me, Skip. They're not that hot, because prior to them winning last week, they had lost their previous.
Well, I'm just saying, they just look like they took off to me.
Losing to the Broncos.
Oh, they were terrible.
Losing to the Raiders.
They lost the Raiders.
And
what I told you, though, they're looking ahead. They want that game.
What was so astonishing about the Saints in this decline, Skip, is that you mentioned they were averaging 37 points a game going into the Dallas game.
Yep.
But that's coming off of games in which they scored 57 on the road to Cincinnati, 48 at home against the Eagles. Yep. So you go on the road and you're only able to muster 10 points. And like you said, they have not been the same offensive team. Defensively, they might have gotten better. Now, who's to say, I mean, the Cowboys offense, they gave up 13. Cowboys, I mean, they're 26th in scoring. Carolina's offense, they don't razz anybody.
And especially Cam just looked so hurt on Monday night.
Right. And again, the Tampa Bay. Now we're going to see just how good this defense is.
Yep.
Because you're playing a team that has an offense that can embarrass you.
Yep.
Big Ben has 3 500-yard passing games. No other quarterback in NFL history has more than 1.
Yep.
So he's more than capable. You got Juju, who has 95 catches, 1,000 yards. AB is already over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. So they have the firepower, the weapons on offense to put pressure on this Saints defense. So we're going to see just how good the Saints defense is, because you're not playing a bottom-feeding offense in Carolina or the Cowboys or Tampa Bay.
Yep.
You got a high-powered offense, and Ben is going to go out and look. Ben is Ben Roethlisberger. But you'll hear what people think about you, and you never want to hear your peers think negative about you.
No, I agree.
You think Eli better than me? You talking about Phillip Rivers, who only has 1 or 2 playoff wins, is better than me?
Yeah. No Super Bowls. Yeah. I mean, Ben's been to 3 Super Bowls, won 2. Okay.
That's got to count for something.
Yeah, and that's why he has the edge over Eli, obviously. In the regular season, he has huge edge over Eli.
Right. So you can't say, well, are you trying to tell me Phillip Rivers, if he didn't play for the Steelers, he wouldn't have it? Yeah, it's easy to say that, Skip, but we never know. We got to just do it what we have. And so I think the Saints will win, because I think their defense is just better than the Steelers' defense. Look, Steelers, come on, Skip. I mean, with the exception of Joe Hayden back there. Now, the question is, I believe he'll travel, follow Michael Thomas, and we're going to see if Drew can get these other guys, Kirkwood and some of these other guys involved.
And Steelers rush the passer? Yes, they can. They get after Brady last week? Yes, they did. Will they get after Brees? Yes, they will. Yep, they will. You watch.
And you said it was important for them to go home. They're averaging 38 points per game at home. And
hey, Dorothy said it, Skip. There's no
33-27. Did you want to give a prediction?
Yes, I do. I got Big Ben, the 5th best passer of his era, best quarterback of his era. I got him winning 27-24. I think lower scoring.
Can we get some do?
No.
Come on,
I don't care about these
so in other words, you got the lead, so you about to pull a D.
Will you give me the points?
No. So
it's 6 points. I'll take 6.
So I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So in other words, you go in 4 corners on me.
What are you talking about?
You up on me on the do, and so you're not going to give me a chance
I'm not
to
up.
win
It's the NFC East. Is it over?
Yeah, it's not
But even
over.
with
I just predicted it's not going to be over until next Sunday.
Hold on. But even without,
you could still rally. You could have a 6K swing over the next.
But you still would be up 5. Give me a chance to win something, Skip.
Well, I'm not going to just give it back to you. I'm going way out on a limb.
No, you're not going out on a limb.
Wait, Jenny, does that qualify as an upset pick? That's a huge upset.
It is.
So in other words,
to beat New Orleans.
So in other words, I got to go to the fair and see all these fun games with all these toys and things I can win, and I can't even get a chance to win them.
I earned those cases. I earned them the hard way.
You did.
I'm not going to just give them back.
No.
Maybe you can convince him. We got a couple more hours to go.
Some of them you swindled me out of.
We're going to move on.
You're in the Hall of Fame. How can I swindle Hall of Fame?
The NFL suspended Josh Gordon indefinitely yesterday for violating